Game on, we're about to take the first step on the road to qualification for the Championship Tour here at Stop 1 on the Challenger Series. It is the Burton Automotive Newcastle Surfest presented by Bonsoy. The next wave getting here nice and early to get a warm-up before competition gets underway. Also littered amongst the field, Championship Tour surfers of note, local heroes, world title contenders. It is a difficult draw, but somewhere in amongst the pack are going to be the new qualifiers for the 2026 season. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch this one unfold. Ronnie Blakey, joined by former CT hero Richie Lovett, and also Jessie Starling with us as well. How are you, Jessie?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks, Ron. How are you?
Pumped. Love this city. It just gives us so much in the way of big sporting events, but Surfest, a huge one on the calendar for Newcastle, Rich and Merriweather. Just the perfect place to watch it all go down.
Yeah, it really is set up well. Newcastle it's one of those surf towns. There's a couple of them on the globe, and Newcastle breeds surfers. They love this. Energy around surfing. Some crazy names in the surfing world have been produced out of this town.
Let's rattle off a couple quickly.
Well, Mark Richards, Simon Law, Matt Hoy.
Aussie GOAT.
Aussie
Mark
GOAT,
Richards.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we've got the late talent that's been coming out of the last decade as well.
Yeah, we're going to be celebrating all of those heroes from the Newcastle region. The city, the beautiful city, as we roll through this event. But let's find out what's coming our way on day one of the event window. It's a big good morning to Vaughan Blakey.
Thank you, Ronnie. Here with Will Hayden-Smith. Mate, surf's cooking out here. The shories are pumping, the rock break's pumping. There's heaps of options. What's the call for the day?
Yeah, the cause, it's definitely on. We expected there to be fun surf today, but it's exceeding expectations so far. So we're going to start with the men's round of 80 and roll straight into the women's round of 48. That's 16 heats, which is a perfect day one.
What an epic way to kick off the Challenger Series, mate. Everyone's fizzing. There's a real buzz around the contest site. What have we got to look forward to for the rest of the week?
Yeah, there is a real air of excitement here. I think people are stoked to be back in Newey. This used to be an international QS, so we've got some of the older competitors excited to be back, and some of the young ones here for their first time. They've been watching it forever, so really exciting to be here. The forecast for the rest of the week's a bit exciting. Tomorrow it looks like it drops off a little bit, then Wednesday it comes straight back up again. And that swell looks like it's going to hang straight through to the weekend. So plenty of options, and looking forward to seeing how today unfolds.
Mate, let's fire this Chang up, brother. Let's go!
Good on you, Vaughan. Yeah, it is looking pretty promising. And Jessie, you were down here yesterday afternoon. We were watching the talent on the Challenger Series warm up. The surfing was next level.
Oh, absolutely it was. And I mean, we have so many Challenger Series people coming back for another year. We have new faces that we'd never seen before, a lot of junior upcoming talent. One person who really stood out to me was Tia Zabrowski, and we saw her, flash what she can do at Portugal last year, and she's on for a full season this year, so that means business.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun watching those new names join the established ranks on the Challenger Series, Rich. But wave-wise, as Will said, a lot of excitement because we've got a good-looking forecast.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll let the cat out of the bag a little bit, but the good news is we're going to have surf all week. So we're just looking at a south swell that's been fading the last couple of days, but there's still really contestable waves on offer today. Tomorrow it's going to drop off a little bit more, and then we're going to get hit with Armageddon on Wednesday. A new big south energy, plenty of wind, plenty of swell. But today, as you can see, 3 to 5 foot faces, so head high conditions, beautiful offshore winds for the day. Real misty kind of morning,
foggy.
Wasn't it?
Very
Real
foggy.
foggy morning, really cold, and as you said, the warm-up action looking really good. So looking ahead through the week, Tuesday, as I said, tapering off, but still nice conditions. And then Wednesday, bang, this new swell, 8 to 10 foot faces, and then up around the 8 to 12 foot face mark on Thursday. And this swell will hang around all through the weekend. It's setting up perfectly. We're going to have really fun waves.
Going to have really fun waves. Thanks to Surfline for keeping us in the loop throughout this incredible Australian leg. But what brand of surfing are we going to see on this opening day, Jessie? Because it's punchy, it's kind of like one big section on that shore breaker as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was sitting there watching the point. There's a deeper right, a little bit further up, more towards the pool, and then we have one right on the beach, as you were just talking about. And I feel like there's always angst around the first day of competition, especially when it's the first Challenger Series of the year. So we're going to see everyone, I feel like, throwing their 110% to make a point and make their mark, and they mean business this year on the Challenger Series.
Bring it on. Getting a bit of a scope of the lineup here at Merriweather. It is a foggy morning, but there is some fun little waves out there at the moment. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to have a look at some of the favourites for the contest here at Surfest right after this.
Better pray, better pray, better pray. Pray for rain. Into the bloodstream.
The World Surf League and Surfest acknowledge the Awabakal people as the traditional custodians of the land and waterways. At Merriweather, we pay our respects to Awabakal people, their elders past, present and future, and extend this acknowledgement and respect, all the respect, to First Nations people here on the beach watching the event unfold on day one, and also those tuning in on our broadcast. A great morning here at Merriweather, but what we're really excited about is the conditions that we have on offer, with some big heats established, so many favourites in the mix, almost too many to mention. But, you know, just to give you the quick rundown, we've got a lot of former CT campaigners making a return to the Challenger Series. You can look forward to seeing Kaloe Andino in the third heat of the morning. Can't wait to see how he's surfing and just see if he's got what it takes to get back to the CT.
Yeah, well, he's been pretty busy on the regional QS back over in America, and really trying to ignite something back, that spark back into Kalohe that we've, you know, he was a fixture on the World Tour for so many years, and obviously wants another crack at it. And obviously the news of the tour changing next year has sort of fired up some of these XCT pros that want another go.
Most definitely. We also have a bunch of former champions in the mix, and one of them is a very interesting story. He blew our minds at Burleigh Heads, Jessie.
Oh, absolutely. 2020, Julian Wilson took out victory here, and this has always been a really prestigious event. It's been a bit of a pathway event to that championship tour, and Julian, he's on the fight to try and get back there. But something that really stands out to me, Joel Vaughan, the only surfer to ever win back-to-back here in the 39 years that Surfest has run.
Yeah, Joel, of course, though, getting above that cut line at stop 7, so campaigning on the CT. But have a look at this run. It's one of the big stories of 2025, Rich, the return of Julian Wilson to that CT jersey. I mean, he started looking really sharp in the early rounds, but caught absolute fire in the later stages of the event.
Oh, it was just an incredible re-unveiling of one of Australia's world title hopes over the last couple of decades. Jules, he ended up winning the trials event for this particular competition, went all the way through, made the final against Felipe Toledo, and we could see Jules building. This is a new version of Julian Wilson. The personality's changed, the openness has changed, the surfing's on point, and he was just getting better and better every time he put the jersey on. This is the perfect warm-up for Jules. He had success up on the Gold Coast. He's back down at Newcastle here. You know, this is where he lives now, so feeling really comfortable. He's got the home crowd support as well. They've sort of adopted him down here, and Jules is on a full tilt mission to make the tour again, and he's going to be one of the ones to watch as we unveil the Challenger Series this year.
Anyone else sticking out to you, Jessie, that we should be keeping an eye on in this event?
I mean, I mentioned her earlier, Tia Zabrowski, but I really do think Julian is the one to beat here. Thinking about it as well, we had the Surfest QS 1000 just a couple months ago. Who took it out? Julian Wilson.
Yeah.
So he's already had an event win here at this break this year. That is a massive leg up, bit of a confidence booster as well. I would love to see Julian Wilson back on that top tier.
Most definitely. On the women's side, same story. A lot of CT talent in the mix, trying to get back to the championship tour. But the honour roll, we're just getting a small snapshot here of the past champs. The honour roll for both the men's and women's event is incredible. Stacked with title contenders, champs. And yeah, I expect there to be a really close and intense contest for the victory here on the women's side again.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, taking a look at that list, you really can't go past someone like Sally Fitzgibbons. I mean, for her to come from Marks, to come straight back here to Nui, to come to a place where she's won here twice before, that is...
Three times. She's chasing a fourth victory.
Wow.
So, Yeah, she's a threat, and also looking to wash off the disappointment of being cut. But Ellie Harrison is looking to defend her Surfest title from last season. She was one of the superstars on the Challenger Series, not making the grade to the Championship Tour for this year. But we got a glimpse of her talents down there at Bells, and she looks right at home in a CT jersey.
Oh, absolutely. And Ellie, this was a lifelong goal. She had talked about this since we were Grom. She always wanted to win Surfest. This was #1 on her list, and I think you can tell by her face there. Really impressive surfing from Ellie in a lot of different conditions that we had here last year, and she's back defending her title.
Yeah, it's going to be unreal, and again, just the rest of the talent littered throughout. You've got junior stars that are starting to make their move one step closer to the Championship Tour, Rich. You've got people that have been bumped back from the Championship Tour looking to get back there, and, you know, a bunch of sort of seasonal campaigners on the Challenger Series who are in the mix as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is just a melting pot of all the regional champions and everyone that's done well on the regional qualifying series. Then, as you said, you've got the ex-CTers that have been relegated. They'll be coming in wanting to flex and just fully take control of the situation. You know, Liam O'Brien, Ryan Callan, you've got huge names that have been a presence on the World Tour. So, yeah, it's really going to be an interesting match. But these newcomers come in with so much energy. They've got nothing to lose, and they want to take down those big names and make their mark.
Most definitely. I think on the women's side, Jesse, there is potentially just that new wave of women's surfers. They're so young. They're very progressive. This wave will suit them really well. I just think that they're going to be fun to watch this year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just walking around this morning, I saw Eden Waller, who's just taken out the recent stab high. And I thought, wow, I hope she does some airs in this event, because she is so good. And there's so many young girls who have this incredible progressive game. And I think if they can really transition that into competition style, like we've seen the likes of Sierra Kerr do, it's going to be game-changing.
Can't wait. Well, we're going to take a quick break here. We still want to have a look at some of the local favourites on the men's side in particular. Former champ Jackson Baker making his competitive return here at Surfest. Day one of the event window, and we are going to get competition underway with the men's round of 80, but we are also talking about some of the favourites on the women's side, and one of them on screen right there, Sierra Kerr, the 2023 World Junior Champion, is having a full run at the Challenger Series this season. And the interesting story, she'll be making that run alongside her dad, who's campaigning on the Challenger Series after a successful run on the regional QS.
It's so wild that we've got a daddy-daughter situation here where we could potentially see them both qualify for the tour. We obviously know that, you know, Josh is a former CT competitor, one of the most touted aerialists in the world. But Sierra is she's on the rise. You know, you look at her career path, she's ticked all the boxes. She's touted as one of the most progressive women coming through the surfing circuit. This was her 23 World Junior Championship victory, Oceanside Pier in California. And she's just made for competition, isn't she?
Oh, absolutely. She's a mongrel, and she means business when it comes to comps. And like you mentioned, she's just got everything. She's got the entire repertoire, and I would say, you know, it definitely helps to have a dad who has the same thing.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, well, when Josh exploded onto the surf scene, he was an aerialist. You know, that's what he was chasing. There was an aerial tour that was happening, and Josh was easily the best on it. Really high strike rate with the airs, but once he got on the QS, he started to evolve other parts of his surfing, got himself onto the CT, had almost a 10-year career campaigning on the Championship Tour, and in really challenging waves of consequence, chased down some of his biggest results.
Yeah.
So ended up being a really well-rounded surfer.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there was highlight moments definitely at Pipeline. I think back to some of the events in Queensland, but this was Portugal with the big Stalefish air. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, 2015. I actually was there, called this wave live, and you know, this is the thing about Josh. He was so good above the lip. That's Stalefish, any great aerialist will tell you, that's the most difficult grab to go for. This is an air that would still fetch a high 9 in high performance conditions on the Championship Tour, and Josh has lost none of that. But he has lost a feature on his surfboard, Jesse, since then. He dropped the back fin on his campaign through the regional QS last year.
He has, and you know what? He was towering everyone up on the 20, and I've heard that he's going to continue his run on the twin fin again on the Challenger Series here.
That's a pretty interesting note, Rich, because you got to wind back the clock a number of years to think about surfers at the elite level on the championship tour riding twin fins in competition.
Well, it was the great Mark Richards from Merriweather, from Newcastle, so we're winding it right back. But this is massive.
And there was also that heat that Matt Hoy, the great Novocastrian Matt Hoy, had against Tom Curran in small conditions, and Curran grabbed a 20, chucked it under his arm, and absolutely waxed Hoyo in small conditions.
Yeah, in France.
But it's going to be interesting because we're going to get some swell at the back end of this window, and it'll be interesting to see Josh riding the twins in some bigger surf.
Josh has been so committed to it, and he's got the equipment so dialed in now that the wave size is diffused. It doesn't matter. He's so good on 20s, whether it's 1 foot or 10 foot. He knows how to surf them. It's a big call to commit to the whole Challenger Series on a 20. Imagine if he makes it, and then what's he going to do? Is he going to commit to the 20 if he makes the championship tour? But anyway, we'll see. He's got to get there, obviously. It's going to be fun to watch him, definitely.
Yeah, watch them both. It's going to be incredible. We talked earlier about some of the local favourites in the event. After the break, we're going to get a closer look at Jackson Baker and Ryan Callanan and their city of Newcastle.
I've grown up in Newcastle all my life, and to see what the city has become and to see the amount of people that are attracted to everything that's from here, the experiences, the restaurants, the beautiful beaches, it's an incredible place to live.
From Nobbies to Merriweather, there's always people up there watching as well. It always seems like there's something going on up at the beach.
Newcastle as a surf destination, it's really consistent. You could go down the beach most days and there'll be something pretty fun. Newcastle Surfest, it's been the major event of kind of my whole life. See people like Kelly Slater, Andy Irons, Mick Fanning, that was such a highlight when I was a little kid.
Highlight for me at the Newcastle Surfest would have to be winning it in 2022. To be able to get chaired up the beach in front of my closest family and friends was a pretty special day. Now, we're pretty lucky here in Newcastle with so much to do. Oh, that's good. All out driving with a 5-wood.
The food scene here is just amazing. I travel a lot of places around the world, and I feel like the quality here is just as good as a lot of places I go. From fine dining restaurants to a beer overlooking the beach. Whatever you're in the mood for, you'll find it.
You hit golf at the driving range. Spooked me at the driving range and at Putt Putt.
A little beer to finish it off.
How good. What a day.
Cheers.
Oh, they sell it well. They love this city, and the city loves them back, and they'll both have amazing support as Ryan Callanan, a new dad, here with his young family, looks to get himself back on the CT, and Jackson Baker looking for a second Surfest win, the only Novocastrian on the men's side to break through for that victory. And, they've been celebrating ever since. But we are looking forward to getting those first heats underway. But this is such a fantastic place to visit. I think the boys summed it up beautifully. Newcastle offers so much. Great restaurants, Rich, a buzzing nightlife, but also beautiful beaches, a number of them, and the ocean pools, the baths around here are awesome.
Yeah, it's all happening right on the coast, and the city's changed a lot. I've been coming here for a long time. I won't tell you how many years because I'll be giving away my age, but it is sort of real metropolitan now. It's got a good vibe to it. As Arco was mentioning, the restaurants and the food, there's so much to do here, but like when you strip it all back, they are just such die-hard surf fans, and they get behind their athletes, and it's just a good energy up here for sure.
The Port of Newcastle also very busy. They're also backing this event, which is fantastic. Got a number of fantastic partners getting behind the Challenger Series and these competitors as we're gearing up for the first heat of the day. These surfers just enjoying a couple of quick rides before that first heat sparks to life. Josh Burke representing Barbados. Looking sharp there.
Save that one.
Yeah, you've seen him put together some great heats on the Challenger Series. Start to clear this lineup, but really looking forward to the Challenger Series. It's so hotly contested. Just during the break off camera, we started talking about, who we think is potentially going to break through on the men's side, and you fill up those 10 spots really quickly, and then you look at who you're leaving out of your top 10 and you start scratching your head. It's a really hard thing to predict. And even in the last few years since the inception of the Challenger Series, you know, you get to the end of a season, you kind of go, how did this individual not make the grade? They surf so well at different stages, but you really got to thread it together through the entirety of the campaign.
Oh, absolutely. And we all learnt last year that you can win an event and not make that top 10. We saw 2 people win an event and still not quite get there. 3, actually. If it wasn't for John, we wouldn't have Al Cleland on tour, and he won an event last year. Geordie Lawler, Mikey Madonna, all those guys make that top 20. They are back competing here this year, but it just shows you have to be so consistent. Like, a win, unfortunately, isn't enough.
Yeah. Well, I saw all 3 of them hanging around the event site, and they just had foam at the corner of their mouths. They were just frothing for this first step of the Challenger Series and really wanting to get off to a fantastic start. That's obviously the goal for all these competitors. As we get set for the first heat